Hello and welcome to Innov'Nation. I'm your host, Lynn Plagmeijer, and thank you for joining. Today we dive into the world of sports. We will discuss some revolutionary ideas from the startup nation. But first, our headlines. An Israeli company, iBrain Tech, lets athletes train with their brain. Literally, we went there to test it out for ourselves. Think being stunning helps you online? A new study says that overly beautiful fitness influencers may actually lose their audience. And a teddy bear has been taken off the shelves after dishing out some very illicit advice to kids. We'll break it down for you. Now, Israel is becoming the hotspot for sports tech innovation, with startups and investors across the region looking to Tel Aviv and Jerusalem for the next big breakthrough in performance, fan engagement, and digital sports solutions. So to talk more about this, I am joined in studio by Nelly Kranz, Strategic Alliances and Investors Relations at Sports Tech Nation. Nelly, thank you so much for joining us. So give us a lay of the land first. Where is Israel when we look at sports tech? Are we a big player in this field?
We are a player. We are, I don't know if big, but a very influential player.
Okay.
When we look at sports tech already for a couple of years, Sports Tech Nation has been around for more years than the framework and the term sports tech was talked about outside of Israel. This is when Sports Tech Nation was a global hotspot here in Tel Aviv for 6 years in a row. And we have, you just mentioned, iBrain Tech, a lot of other fan engagement solutions and athlete performance solutions coming out of Israel that are definitely making their way into elite sports all over the globe.
So when we talk about investment in sports, what type of investments are investors now most excited about?
So there's a lot happening and the landscape is shifting. We're looking now, it's still in the very beginning, at women's sports. That is very hot. Now with AI stepping up the game, you can imagine how many scouting and training solutions there are starting in the market now in this space. So all the data and analytics, scouting, that's a very hot space to look at right now.
Okay, so that's good for the viewers at home to know that this is where they can invest in if they want to. And just to round it up, what's the biggest challenge that sports tech startups face here in Israel?
What's the biggest challenge to face in Israel? I think the big challenge is to go outside. Here you have a lot of great clubs that are letting you test, which is a huge opportunity for clubs. They're both in football and basketball. If you look at it, you have clubs that really, even though they're playing in the top tier leagues, they let startups in. And that's actually a big opportunity. The challenge here, I think women's sports is not a topic at all, I would say. I wish it would go into this direction a bit more. Fan engagement is a small country, right? It's a small audience. So yes, a startup needs to look at a global scale, to look abroad, and to get also the numbers straight, and not just, not just the smaller clubs here in the country.
Yeah, well, I think when it comes to Israel, it's not known for our sports performances. So
definitely not, but I can tell you from the Olympics point of view that tech is making a huge difference. That actually the Israeli mindset is very open to tech and innovation, that other countries, for example, Germany, is not. And you can see in the ranking, in the Olympic ranking, that countries that are more open to tech and innovation are actually getting to more successes because they know how to integrate tech. And that's what makes the difference between winning and losing.
Ah, wow. Okay, so there's a lot to gain here from being a startup nation. All right, Nelly Kranz, Strategic Alliances and Investors Relations at Sports Tech Nation. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Now let's turn our attention to a concrete example of sports tech right here in Israel. We are talking about iBrain Tech. This company allows injured athletes to continue training thanks to a kind of neural headset. Using sensors, it allows you to control a virtual soccer or basketball player with just your thoughts. Host and reporter of our French channel, Christopher Barolin, tried it out.
What if athletic performance really was all in the mind? That's exactly what this technology shows. Well, that's exactly what iBrain Tech is proving today. This Israeli startup, founded in 2019 in Tel Aviv, has developed a one-of-a-kind technology, a tool that blends neuroscience, sport, and cutting-edge technology. Here in Tel Aviv, a team of experts are working on this remarkable device, a headset that lets users control a video game character using only their minds. The goal isn't to become Lara Croft or an Assassin's Creed hero just yet, but to help elite athletes improve their training and rehabilitation through the power of their brain. This technology is already being used by Premier League clubs in the UK, across Europe, and by various football and basketball teams. Many top athletes are now training with this Israeli innovation, an idea that started in the mind of Dr. Konstantin Sonkin, the founder and CEO of iBrain Tech.
It was born in 15 years of my research in the domain of brain science and artificial intelligence. And once AI was inspired by biological organization of the brain, and since that time AI improved so dramatically, and our understanding of our own human brain is almost on the same level. So I felt the need to give back, to utilize AI to better understand and enhance natural intelligence of humans. This is why we started iBrain on a mission to bring deep academic research into the daily life and to empower athletes and actually all people around the globe to exercise the mind the same way as we exercise our body.
To understand how this technology works, you first need to understand that the brain functions much like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger and more efficient it becomes.
Imagine you go to the gym and you want to be fit. But fit is a very complex term. Precisely, you'd like your biceps to be stronger. So you go and you start exercising bench presses, and you see how your biceps grows with the repetitions and with exercises. The same applies to the brain. Imagine you'd like to be able to be more focused. So there is a unique area of the brain called prefrontal cortex. You need to go and start exercising this area. So millions of neurons supporting the decision-making capability will work more efficiently. In a way, brain responses to training the same way as our physical body does. So we go to the gym and we exercise, we see the progress. The same applies to our brain training.
And the best way to understand this technology is, of course, to see it in action. So that's what we're going to do now with Daniel Esses, Vice President of iBrain Tech. Thanks to this technology, I'm about to play football using nothing but my brain.
This is specially designed that we're going to roll out shortly. It has strategically placed sensors. Could you just touch it a little bit? Gentle, gentle. Okay, this is what's going to be feeling on your head.
Okay.
These sensors will be picking up the brain activation. Our brain runs, as you met with Dr. Konstantin Sonkin, it runs on electric. When we think of something, we're activating certain areas in our brain. And these delicate sensors pick up that activation. Our AI patented technology will translate, convert that, and throw that onto the screen. And we're good to go. And Christopher, let's go for your first game of brain football. Oh, yeah, you hold on to that. Here we go, fitting nicely. The idea is you're actually going to be thinking about the movement, the focus, the concentration. Where exactly are you? Where's your leg going? Okay. How does it feel? The ball kicking on that foot. Everything exactly you would as you were on the pitch.
Okay.
My brain activity then appears on the screen in green and blue. Every movement I control with my mind is displayed in real time. Together with Daniel, we choose my avatar, the character I'll embody and move simply by thinking. When my player bumps into obstacles, it means I wasn't focused enough, and the connection between the game and my brain briefly broke.
focus, take a breath, and we'll reconnect.
After a few minutes of intense concentration, the game can finally begin. One of the scenarios on offer, the decisive pass.
Where you're supposed to place the ball, right there. You focus aiming it to right there. Focus putting it there, and then you'll see it should be getting smaller and smaller. But I'm talking to causing a little bit of distraction.
So if I come here every day, I'll eventually start scoring goals in the game and then in real life.
1,000%. Again, it doesn't have to be every day. 2 to 3 times a week is more than enough. 20 to 25 minutes in the comfort of their home. They come here in their facility, and then they could 10x what they've been doing on the actual pitch, practicing, visualizing, building that neural connection. And then when they get to the pitch, it's automation. Boom, boom, boom. And we've been fortunate enough to work with very high-level players and clubs throughout the world, and the feedback and the results have been just, God bless, amazing.
Perfect. I'll come back twice a week and become the next Mbappe. During the test, other scenarios were introduced, like the cones you see on screen, or even a straightforward penalty kick. Today, this technology is mainly aimed at elite athletes, but tomorrow it could expand into other fields.
Their elite athletes and sports scientists validate the technology. You have unprecedented marketing power because the sport franchises are so powerful, right? If Messi or Ronaldo says something is good, we have tendency to trust them because they are, for us, actually role models, I would say. We're not limited and bounded by sports because not only young athletes want to exercise their mind and improve their abilities to make decisions and execute them. Not only injured athletes want to return to their lives and continue training while you can't actually move. So we are doing massive clinical trials in the United States together with our strategic partners in the top-level national hospital chain.
Since ancient times, the saying, a sound mind in a sound body, has been repeated endlessly. This technology, developed here in Israel, is living proof of it. Mind may even be taking the lead over the body. From elite sports to medical rehabilitation, this innovation could transform our understanding of performance in years to come. A revolution that reminds us, in sports, as in life, everything begins in the mind.
Well, forget heart rate monitors because this Israeli startup is listening to your bones. Sonic Bone uses sound waves to measure bone vibrations and reveal what's happening inside an athlete's body instantly. So joining us now is VP Marketing of Sonic Bone, Uri Levin. Uri, thank you so much for being with us. You brought the machine with you. Please tell us how this technology works and why it's so important.
Okay, well, this is a very special cutting-edge ultrasound technology specifically designed to assess skeletal age and predict the final adult height of youth athletes. We perform 3 measurements on the athlete's left hand, on the wrist, on the proximal phalanx of the 3rd finger, and the metacarpal bones. And the results are generated immediately.
Okay.
This technology originated from the clinical field, working with a doctor and an endocrinologist, trying to have a safer and cleaner alternative to the gold standard, which is X-ray-based method. So this is a cleaner and safer and more accurate solution.
And then what do you measure exactly? Like, because I asked you if I could do it, you said no, because I'm too old. So why? Who do you test it on?
Well, our audience is adolescents from the age of children and adolescents from the age of 6 till 19. During our maturation process, there are physical process in the bones that in the specific sites that we are measuring, we are able to detect, analyze, and translate it to skeletal age, which has many applications in different fields.
So if, let's say a boy is 12, but his skeletal age, it can be 10, it can be 14?
Exactly. That's a very common issue in sports academies. For example, at the age group of 14, you have a late bloomer that didn't go through his growth spurt with a skeletal age of 12, and an early maturer already passed his growth spurt with a skeletal age of 17. Although these two are chronologically 14 years old, there's a huge biological difference between them. And this is one of the biggest, the main attributes with the biggest impact on a young athlete's performance, as well as on his susceptibility to injuries, is his maturation status and timing.
All right, so you adapt the training to what's ever coming out of this device.
Yes.
Aha, okay. And when we talk about the market, who's using it?
Well, this technology is being implemented in youth development programs around the world. We're working with elite sports clubs and football clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, Barca, Dortmund, Offenheim, Leverkusen, many baseball clubs like New York Mets, San Francisco Giants, and many, many more. On a national level, we're working with national teams and federations like the English Football Association, Scottish Rugby, US Soccer, Hungarian Handball and Football Federation, and many more, as well with top sports universities around the world, providing for the first time a technology based on ultrasound that can evaluate the biological maturation process and opens up and link it to many fields that they are studying and interested in.
Wow, okay, so Hungarian handball. It's very important these days. So when we look to the future, what's the biggest challenge or the biggest result you're going to see out of your product?
Happily, less and less, because, like, for example, 10 years ago, nobody really knew about and talked about growth and maturation and its impact. One of our biggest challenges was to raise the awareness of this and on its impact of every aspect of a young athlete's development. And personally, I can say we have a great sense of joy and pride to see young athletes that started using this technology in different clubs, and today they are already matured and succeeding and thriving in major leagues all around the world, and knowing we had a small contribution to their path as the professional athletes, and combining two passions of ours, technology and sports, all together, bring us a lot of joy and thank you.
Amazing, amazing technology right here from Israel. Uri Levin, VP of Marketing of SonicBone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now to a blast from the past. Remember those little cameras we used for literally everything? Yes, the GoPros took the world by storm when it was founded in 2002, raking up a $1.6 billion revenue, but these cameras have all but disappeared from Street View. Let's take a closer look at the American company behind this hit product.
The GoPro story began on the beaches of Indonesia and Australia with an American surfer named Nick Woodman. Out of work at the time, he set off on a surf trip to Australia. Wave after wave, he chased the perfect ride, but there was no one to capture his moves on camera. That's when the idea struck. A wearable camera that could film surfers in action. Woodman began developing the first prototypes of an action camera that was waterproof, shock-resistant, and fitted with an adjustable wrist strap, secure enough to stay in place and agile enough to follow the wearer's every move. In 2002, GoPro was officially launched, and very quickly, the cameras were embraced by top athletes. From surfing to skiing, diving to extreme sports, GoPros became essential gear. Thousands of videos, from professionals and amateurs alike, flooded social media. The GoPro went viral. Woodman expanded the lineup. Action cams, drones, 360-degree cameras. By 2011, more than 1 million units had been sold. A year later, the company went public, and by 2015, GoPro hit a revenue peak of $1.6 billion. But since then, the brand has been in free fall. The reason? Fierce competition. Cheaper, equally reliable alternatives have entered the market, and they've been pushing GoPro off the podium it once dominated.
Now here's a twist in the world of social media. A new study says the rules of online popularity may be changing. Instead of rewarding picture-perfect fitness influencers, audience may be responding more to people who feel real and relatable. It's a shift that could reshape how these fitfluencers connect with followers. Our host and correspondent Natasha Kurchuk has more.
Apparently, being too pretty is not necessarily a good thing online today. That is actually what new research says. A new study has found that influencers who are extremely attractive may be getting fewer likes, follows, and engagement on social media than people who look more normal, to put it nicely. So here's the story. Researchers from the University of Dayton and the University of Oregon asked hundreds of participants to scroll through mock posts from fictional fitness influencers. And what they found is something that they are calling the beauty backfire effect. The idea is simple. When someone is too good looking, many viewers just stop seeing them as believable or relatable. They look great, but they don't feel real. And the drop in engagement is not small. Highly attractive influencers consistently pull in fewer likes and follows than influencers who are rated as being moderately attractive. Why is that the case? Well, according to this study, relatability has become more powerful than perfection, especially in the fitness world where audiences want to feel like the creator is a real person, not a flawless superhero. And tone also matters according to the study as well. Posts where influencers are humble, talking about struggles, insecurities, bad days, they perform noticeably better. But when influencers flaunt their perfect bodies or seem too polished, then the reactions drop hard. So basically, showing some cracks actually makes people care more. And there are gender differences that were caught in this study as well. Attractive women face stronger negative reactions than attractive men. That's something the researchers link to society's harsher judgment of women's appearance and expectations. So no shocker there. But this is especially interesting because it really runs against the old advertising rule of sex sells. In the past, we know that beauty boosted clicks and brand favorability, but today the online audience is evolving, and it turns out that humans are looking for authenticity. We want real stories. We want real emotions, real people, not just perfect angles and perfect abs. So researchers say that their next step is to expand the study to look into how things like race, disability, and cultural background might also affect this so-called beauty backfire effect. Bottom line, yes, in 2025, being too hot really can hurt your engagement. And on social media, being relatable and honest is officially the new perfect.
And now from fitfluencers to an experimental $10 billion city in Japan. Jody Natelevich joins me now to talk about all the latest viral tech news. So Jody, what is this futuristic city?
So this is straight out of a sci-fi movie. It's called Woven City, and it's being made by Toyota, actually, at the base of Mount Fuji. And it's basically an experiment in what if your home was smarter than you are. Everything runs on hydrogen, only driverless cars are allowed. The houses are powered by AI, they restock your groceries, and probably judge your sleeping habits. It's like living inside a tech demo, but with real people moving in. Honestly, it's either the future or one of the world's most expensive demos.
Wait, but it's robots that stock everything up and do everything for you?
It's an AI computer, like everything's computer generated. Yes,
really?
Everything.
Wow, okay. And they want to, they're asking for residents,
yes.
I heard. So you can sign up.
I don't know if I would do that personally, but maybe you.
Fully stocked fridge. It sounds kind of nice. Probably in this city they don't have this teddy bear because a teddy bear in Singapore has gone completely rogue, giving kids advice on sexual fetishes and where to find knives.
Exactly. This one is pure chaos. So Folo Toy released an AI-run teddy bear, named Kuma. Cute face, soft fur, the whole thing. Except when it was tested by researchers, let's just say, it was giving very adult advice. We're talking BDSM, pills, matches, where to find knives. All the things that teddy bears should not be talking about or should not know about. Parents were like, absolutely not. And the company evidently pulled the $99 teddy bear off the shelves. The CEO, Larry Wang, said that they will be conducting an internal safety audit on the toy. So it's not exactly the adorable kid-safe bear that was promised.
Well, I'm looking at the screen right now. It looks kind of cute, but okay, $99 for kids who's talking about sex is maybe not the best present to give kids this Christmas or Hanukkah, maybe. All right, so we're staying in Asia because Asia really, it's so ahead when we talk about all these viral latest tech innovations. But this one is more on the side of getting away from technology.
Yes, so this is my favorite one. It's called Prison Inside Me, and it's basically a wellness retreat. It's basically a wellness retreat, but with handcuffs. You hand over your phone, you stay in a tiny cell, put on a blue jumpsuit, and relax for 24 hours. Many of the people that come to stay here are stressed out office workers, students. South Korea can be quite demanding in terms of work and academic culture, so sometimes people really need a real break. And apparently people that have stayed there said this is the best sleep they've ever had, which it honestly makes sense. No emails, no group chats, no notifications, just you, silence, and your thoughts.
Right, I know where I'm going for my next holiday. Right into prison. Okay, exactly. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's all we have time for today. I'm your host, Lynn Plagmeijer. Next week, we talk about the new technologies on our plate, food tech. We'll take you on a journey to discover Mila Food. It's an Israeli startup offering us the proteins of the future. So join us then. Thank you for watching and have a great day wherever you are from Tel Aviv.